Hello everyone, welcome one more week to we're playing Hana Skills. Hello everyone. This is probably good. Hello everyone, welcome to round 4. We just lost to red-green mid-range. I guess that was more a Ponzo. They play Molten Rain, they play Blood Moon, they play Mago, so they were really all in on the mana denial stuff, and I think that kind of came to show that our deck is a bit soft to Blood Moon. So I'm making a small amount of changes. I'm adding a 5th forest for the Horizon Canopy. That's something I had changed and now I'm going back to it. And that means that we have a bit less white sources, but should be fine. And then I added the Caustic Repeal instead of a Path to Exile on the sideboard. Looks like we don't want to be playing 3 Paths to Exile most of the time. So we're going to play, and this hand is risky, but I mean we have a good turn 1, turn 2 play anyway. I'll keep it. So even if we have I mean we can even have like 3 draw steps. So we say, okay, there's the thing of not playing Miles the Moon is that this play is not as awful as all the time. We also green there over, but we have the Ranger Captain, so playing against Tron or Urzatron or E-Tron, I mean. That's a good draw. So we're gonna go ahead and play the Heliod now. If we draw a line, we can collect the company, and if we don't draw a line, we can Ranger Captain. Oh, they have Tron, and on the 7 as well. Seems to be my fate recently. And yeah. Okay, so I'll collect the company after they play whatever they want to play. Let's collect the company is a way to deal with Heliod. I mean, collect the company. Only there is a way to deal with Heliod. Then when we find out of it, of course we're lucky to find 2 lands in a row on top of their deck. So they got the power plant. I'd be surprised if they don't play it. Like, yeah, I think I'm gonna play a Blast Zone here. They got it. See what they do. That's 7 mana. I can't liquidate it. Is that a Ballista? If it's a Ballista, I'm gonna probably collect the company before. Can't liquidate it. Sure. See who they target. There's a Heliod. But I will collect the company in response. So we're playing against Mono Green Dragon. I have not played this matchup. Or at all with this deck. So 2 Ranger Captains is certainly not bad. Any order? Yes, so I'll get Walking Ballista, and I'm guessing I could get an Arbor Elf as well for the mana. And this becomes, yeah, they'll just take it. That's okay. Can kill it next turn. Land, that's good. You can sack a Ranger Captains to kind of slow them down. So Attack them, you attack face. So now it's a question as what we want to play. What can they have? Oblivion Stone is bad. Ulamok, another Karn. Okay, so I'll look for a Temple Garden. So we can play the Conclave Mentor, the Ivor Elf. Yeah, we're gonna go for it. I think we're gonna... And... This is a lot of mana. I think I'm gonna upkeep, sacrifice the Ranger Captain. Ah! Is that good though? I mean, what are we preventing? The Oblivion Stone, basically. That's the thing we're preventing with this. I think maybe that's worth it. So I will do this. So they can cast also always does, I guess. They can get a Ballista, they can get a Nulamog, I guess. No, not a Nulamog. Work Chain. That's probably a Ballista, right? That's brutal, of course. But what it is. Shoot it. We're gonna shoot it twice this way, kind of. If it shoots again, it dies. But now if it shoots again this turn, it dies, so Ballista. So they waste a mana. I guess I will upkeep the elf. Not much we can do about it. Another line. Oh, nice. Yeah, now about Ballista with this. Changing Moose can hit 3 things. Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can Ooze and Captain. I need something with Ooze. You attack with both, actually. If they block, actually, yeah, I like it block. I like it. They can put 2 counters on it this next turn. Probably you wanna first. System. So they cannot play a big planeswalker. Oh no. 7? That's also a non-creature spell. Oh, that's Runko Engine. That's strong. I will eat the Ivor Elf, that's less likely to return. Okay. Maybe actually will lose this. Five. This game is looking a bit over. Of course, we could play both the Spike Feeder on the Ballista, upkeep, pick this up, and hope to draw a Heliod, basically. Actually, Heliod doesn't do it against an live, I guess. So they attack or no? They don't even attack. So we will eat their Ballista. Yeah. Heliod. Well, yours is not even bad. So I'll give it a run. I'm afraid of what my opponent's gonna do to me next turn, but yeah. Your runes can protect this Scavenging Ooze and attack for a lot of damage. So yeah. Good block here in life. That's just doesn't right. No. All right. Monday Star. Cool. Green Silence Cry. Okay. Well, we stopped them all. We stopped them from ramping, that's for sure. So they have 8 mana available now. Off Stone. Oops. I'm gonna blow it up right now. I guess a collected company could still do it, right? So we're gonna believe. Also kills you the biggest pro. Come on, man. I mean, they had that turn 3 Tron. Oh, turn 3 Tron without mulliganing, right? So I guess I can. Yeah, I guess I'll play it and see if I can find a Heliod. We have Damping Sphere on the sideboard. We don't have a limit sensor. Maybe I would like to have it. This matchup. Oh, wow, 10 mana. I mean, if they play a Ballista, okay. We tried our best to slow them down, but they can't leave it killing the. Maybe I should have played around it and not play the Heliod, but yeah. What is good in this matchup? This is good. This is not good. I think Gear is not the best. I mean, Gear can be actually really good. Made an offense that I've been moppy. Huh. I think Damping Sphere is great. Oh, the Eternal Witness. Huh. Maybe we have too many 3-drops if we keep this. Do I prefer Giver Runes or an Offensive? Now we only have 24 hits for... Ugh. I guess we're reading this in... It's too bad that we don't have a creature that hates on them. Maybe the scales are actually... The scales is probably not great in these matchups. Maybe I would have an Offensa. And... yeah, the scales, I mean, the scales is good for comboing, but not a great in general. Okay, this hand has Damping Sphere, has 3 Conclave Mentors and a Spike Feeder. I guess this is okay. Not the fastest hand by any means, but let's see if our opponent doesn't keep 7. That's kind of nice when Trump players mulligan. Kind of hard to beat. You know, like after turn 3, all they did was play spells that cost 3 mana, like 7 mana or more. So, what I'm thinking about it, which is scary. I should say I'm playing Modern. Opponent on the tank. Good thing of this deck, the Damping Sphere is actually like if they bring in like Graveyard Hate for the Damping Sphere, they don't have hate. I mean Graveyard Artifact Hate for the Damping Sphere. They don't have a hate for the other pieces afterwards. But I think like probably mono green scales is better against them. So they're mulliganing to 5. It's good. It's good. I mean, if they mulligan to 5 and they have 3 lands and 2 threats, that's something we can deal with. The problem is when they go keep 7 and they have basically they have the nuts, right? They have like the basically Tron into 4 threats hand. Okay, we don't need to keep stop anymore. We definitely don't need to play the Damping Sphere next turn. That's good, as this is an Expedition map. It's also good. So play a Horizon Canopy and play a Conclave Mentor. If they play a second Trumpet, I'm gonna play a Damping Sphere. So they will cycle this, make green. Ancient Sphinx. All is dust. Okay, so they have all this dust. They have land, so I gotta, and they have another chromatic star. Funny you can find all this dust out of that. I have to Damping Sphere here. They want to find another Temple Garden, so I'm just gonna take 1 damage here. I take the same basically, but yeah. So we start by hitting them with a Conclave Mentor. Then we will play this and this. This Damping Sphere is just in case they have the Tron basically. They're Troning us. So they cycle that. That's good for us, I guess. Green. Play Forest. So they have. Maybe they didn't have it. They don't have Nature's Claim for the Damping Sphere. Or maybe they do, but they don't think it's needed to be played right now. I can Spike Feeder. I can also Triple Conclave Mentor. But if they have Nature's Claim for this, it becomes rather bad, I think. Maybe better to save 1. Then this way we draw Collect the Company of Heliod next turn. We've won with a Spike Feeder now. Yes, I'm gonna hit them. $16. We can save the Knight of Autumn for later. It's in case they, I don't know if they play, I don't think they play Counter Creator, but just in case, right? The Expedition map, that's really good because that means they, you know, like this actually makes it harder for them to win. They pop it. So now they cannot cast anything else this turn, thanks to the Damping Sphere. They get the Blast Zone. Okay, that's a slow process. I guess I can just look for a Temple Garden now. Yeah, Heliod or Ballista do it. Ballista doesn't do that. Then just gonna play Ballista. That's probably fastest skill, am I right? I mean, it's a 3-3. The hits pretty hard. It's a 3-3. So now we'll attack them for 5. They go down to 11. We have a 3-3. We attack them for 8 plus 3 next turn. That's lethal. Okay. Yeah. So let's do that. And we can seal Knight of Autumn them. We can also move counters of the Spike Feeder over the Ballista. It's a little known ability that the Spike Feeder has. So they go down to 11. So they're facing lethal next turn, basically. So they have Tron now. They're no winners, it's not bad. That can bring back the Damping Sphere. See. Cool. Alright, so on the play we were able to beat them. They didn't have a turn 3 Tron. Naturally, they mulliganed. On the draw though, that's more concerning. Okay. On the draw, I think we need to be more all in on the combo. I think this is a bit slow. Let's see, Tron, I mean, Tron, we are kind of a mid-range deck, and Tron is like known to be good against mid-range decks. Oh, these hands. They are starting with a mulligan. But this hand has turn 1 Scales, turn 2 do nothing, turn 3 Knight of Autumn. I mean, this hand can win with Collected Company. Actually, this is a tough one, because if we go down, okay, let's say we go down, what are we looking for? We're looking for acceleration, right? Like Utopia Sprawl or Arbor Elf, that's what we're looking for, really. I think on the draw, on the play, I guess I could keep this, but on the draw, even worse hand. They keep 6. We have the Damping Sphere, but this hand just doesn't work out. I've had some kind of bad mulligans, man. I guess we keep this. Put back a Spike Feeder. Thinking if either it's a land or a Spike Feeder I want to put back. I think I'm going to put back the Horizon Canopy and look for a Temple Garden. And then, yeah, we can Damping Sphere turn 2. I think on the draw, if we are very dead, if they just turn 3 Tronas with no, let's say, position. So yeah, of course, drawing a yeah. That's okay. So we will look for Temple Garden, play Damping Sphere next turn, unless they play a Forest or something like that. If they play a Forest, I'm gonna play a Conclave Mentor. Field until next end step. We didn't find an Arbor Elf on a mulligan to 5 or a okay. So that's Sylvan's Crying. That means they don't have Tron next turn. That means we can actually get the Conclave Mentor down, which is rather good. Okay, so they play these. They have Tron next turn, and they actually can blow this up. That I actually have to play the Damping Sphere, there's no way around it. They kind of put counters here, which is kind of nice. Next turn we can play Captain of Heroes, get ourselves a Walking Ballista. So they got the mine, they're gonna play the mine. Okay. This is good because actually this costs them extra mana, so the thing is, they can put counters over here. And next turn I need to pay 3 mana and blow it up. Means they will use a whole turn doing it. They will also kill this though, but then we can replay the Ranger Captain. I mean, we can replay the Damping Sphere, so we should have Reflection Reworker on this. Always yield, yes. Yeah, now they're going to put counters on the Blast Zone. Pop the Blast Zone next turn. But then we can play a second Damping Sphere. I guess if they're smart, they should do this after, like at the end of our turn. But maybe because of the Ballista, they want to do it now. So we can pop the mine, no, pop the star, and still blow it up, the Blast Zone. So they have 5 mana available. They have not played Alliance. What can they get? I think Wilt. Okay, right away. That's probably Ballista. No. So Ballista for X equals 2. Guessing I will shoot. I'm gonna play a Ballista. I just don't want them to block the Ranger Captain and then... Okay. Again to life. So what do I think of this deck so far? I think it's been awesome. I think it's maybe even better positioned than normal skills. Of course not against Green-Tron. Green-Tron probably is a better matchup with normal skills. But I think this deck has a lot going for itself. Like it has a really good prowess matchup. It has a pretty good like fair game matchup, and it, you know, because it has a combo inbuilt, which we haven't seen this match, but it has an inbuilt combo. Then okay, that's 4 or not. They can actually blow up the Damping Sphere now, but they only get 1 card out of it. Oh, let's collect the common. That's a great draw. So we will attack them. I'm really liking this deck. I think it's doing strong things. And it's actually fair against some of the bad matchups of the scales. So this is actually really good because it, like, even if they blow up the Plasm, which they will, They actually only have 3 lands right now, so. And we have collected company that we can collect the company on their turn. So I think the collected company is a great card. Having the combo kill is always really great. Wow, that's super good for us if they're not like straight up. This costs 2 mana, right? So in the end, this costs them 1 mana, so. Ancient Steerings. Brutal that they have to do all of this. But Damping Sphere also stops. They actually cantrip a lot, Tron, so. Damping Sphere stops them from doing this. They play all these dice, but yeah. So I'm really liking this deck. I think it's really well positioned right now, and it's doing some powerful stuff. And I also, I like to change from time to time. Like I was playing a ton of mono green. I mean, that's successful. I think Counter the Great. I mean, I think I've been taking a beating lately with. That's Counter the Great Creator. Sure. They have a power plant, nothing else. They don't even plus a card? Yeah, that's not. So you may choose a spell, I think. Okay, so they're just going all in for the Ensnaring Breach or something like that. You guys hear well the audio. It always tells me in YouTube that I have a too low bit rate. Whatever that means. So they get something. They get Sorcerer's Spyglass. Sure, I'll let them name whatever they want, and then we can collect the company. Guess I can name Walking Ballista. Ah, of course, they see the collect the company, but they don't know what we're getting, right? So now they're really scared, because actually we could just go for lethal depending on what we get. So they name Walking Ballista, even though they have a Karn. Cool. We go to end step. Collect the company. So Conclave Mentor. Okay, this is lethal. So we can get Heliod and Conclave Mentor. Any order? This is lethal. This is the combo I'll show you. So, even this doesn't matter. You play a Spike Feeder. You remove a counter. Heliod puts a gets a gives a counter because you gain life, and then every time you do this, you actually make the Spike Feeder 1 bigger. Right, so you just this Spike Feeder becomes immense, basically. And you can do this until you tie it, or until you are like, okay, I think I have enough counters, which I think we do right now. So then what we do is we turn off auto heals, we remove a counter here. Here we say unsafe targets, and we go over the Ranger Captain, say always yes. And you can see here, we're gonna go like boop. Yep, so we're gonna do this one more time, and this is GG. And this is the brutal thing of this deck, like on an end step we won out of the blue. And there's nothing they can do. Yep. So yeah, that's what I really, really, really like this deck right now. I think the only match we lost it was against the Tron deck. I think I'm gonna put in an Aven Mid Sensor in this deck. Like, I will change one of these for this card. This card is really good also against a lot of decks. Yeah. All right. Well, we find a game. I'll go to that. Baby hands. Let's see if it works. Oh, we missed a Q. We missed a Q, guys. Oh, yeah, no, we didn't. Nice. So it really can be Europiles. Oh, I think. Oh man, this hand is great. It's good. Cheap. I guess we were punished by not being on the play by. We're playing against Laverage. This is a known player. I know what they play. Oh, well, there's a Europile. So yeah, let's see if that we can beat them. They play Mystic Sanctuary tap, which is always good. It's their turn. Okay. These cards are not the best in this matchup, but they're really good in another matchup, so whatever. I could look for Forest, but I actually would rather yes. I'd rather draw land. So against this decks, you know, you can a lot of times win with a combo. If you are able, because your combo is a non-creature combo, so sorry, it's a creature combo. It's kind of hard sometimes for them to interact with it. This isn't a growth spiral if I've ever seen one. Okay, I can play Heliod and Arbor Elf, which is rather nice. So I think I'm gonna get a Forest. So here's Sprawl here. White. Important not to use both forests there. Reman, okay. That's a turn they don't use, and actually we have developed our mana quite a lot, so turn. So as Europiles, yeah. Next turn we have 7 mana. Holy Jesus. A lot. That's a lot of mana. So we will. Never mind. I will untap this. Let's see. That resolves. We can get Oriok Champion down or Captain of Eos down and a Giver of Runes. No, we cannot get a Giver of Runes. You get a 3rd Arbor Elf, but we also could just get Ballista. We're just gonna get Ballista. Yes, walking Ballista. We sadly will miss a land. I mean a mana, but it's okay. So next turn we have 7 mana available, which is just enough to win the game with the Ballista. That's an Udo. Okay. So we have 7 mana, right? There's 6, 7. We play a Ballista for 2. We are liveling, yeah. Actually only need 6 mana, in fact. That's a Udo, they can live. They play a second field of that. And they concede. See, this is an Europile. They just spin their wheels and lose the game. I mean, basically. Veil of Summer is good. Our champion's bad. I think I got a Ballista in these matchups. We still have 26 hits. Yeah, that's good. So I think this happens a lot with Europiles. Like, their early game is really bad. Like, they don't have that much good interaction against you. And Ether Gas is good, but we have actually a lot of white spells. You know, we have Scavenging Usos for the graveyard. We have Collected Company, which is a card that's really hard for them to deal with. I mean, of course I'm gonna lose now, but I've been having quite a lot of success against them. It feels like we are faster than when they can actually respond a lot of the times. No, that Remnant didn't do anything at all. This hand is good because it has Giver. And he has Collected Company, which is one of the best cards in the matchup. So we're gonna keep it. I think I'm gonna just shock for Giver Runes. Yeah, or Giver is good because it can protect our dudes, of course. Oh, that's an Arbor Elf. It's even better. So we're just gonna start with the Arbor Elf and go. Then we can look for this with a Temple Garden and play a Captain of Eos. And then the turn after get a Collector Company. Pretty good. Yeah, Idol is not so bad against control, you're right. I mean, I should play that. Oh, that's Random 6. The one of Random 6. I will play tomorrow, I didn't realize this. Maybe I should cut the Albert Elves against this, but well. Since we have 4 lands already, I'm just gonna look for the... actually, it's maybe medium play to look for the planes when they're playing. I thought they were on the... they're called... on Band, not on Temor. Maybe they're playing 4 colors, in fact. I think this the guy is known for its absolutely great in there when it comes to deck building. Okay, all this. Whatever, man. So forest here. White. Ranger cut. Get a ballista. Maybe they counter it. Maybe they reman it. Or they just go spiral or something. They reman. Alright. That's fine. Next time we collect the company in their end step. They haven't ramped yet, which is kind of good for us. But Ramsey's got a ton of value already. Killed the creature, got two lands back. They only got this Scalding Tarn back. So this is 1, 2, 3 islands. That's... oh, they're playing also Reclamation. Insane. Play Scales. Actually, Idol is really good against them. And we go back to pass a turn. They're playing Reclamation, Ren and 6. Ooh. Also playing... okay, that's... get a line back. That's the thing with Ren 6. Turn to Ren 6 is a brutal card to deal with. So, I mean, if they're not going to use their mana, we're of course going to wait until the Reclamation resolves to do our stuff. Probably going to look for a Temple Garden, in fact. So, maybe they do a Shark Typhoon. Grow Spiral, sure. Actually, why didn't they grow Spiral before the Wilderness Reclamation resolved? That was a mistake. Plays another Scalding Tarn. They don't play... okay, maybe guess should be really worried about dying here. Maybe have counter. Yeah, I probably just have cryptic counter row. Yeah, tough. You can still play the captain whatever we draw, so. Maybe from here they just control us. Like with the Reclamation. We can still, you know, we can win out of the blue, so I'm not gonna... they have Mystic Sanctuary. Okay, I think they locked us out now. Because they can just Cryptic lock us, double mana. They have another Cryptic. We cannot beat this. They have double Cryptic with a Mystic Sanctuary going, with Wilderness Reclamation. That means that, you know, they will always have a counter for everything we cast, so... yeah, probably Idol is not bad against them. Playing Bolt, then this card is not so... I mean... how many Renan 6 do they play, actually? Maybe that's better, actually, to play it like this. Knight of Autumn can kill the Wilderness Acclamation. There's a ton of 3-drops, but fine. Gotta collect the company. Alright, final match. Let's see. From the play, this was a fast game so far. Okay, skills turn 1. I mean, this hand is a bit slow, eh? It's not too bad. That's a good. I mean, this can deal with their. Like, Knight of Autumn can deal with the. Maybe they force this actually, no. Knight of Autumn can deal with the Wilderness Acclamation. Okay, this is a really great turn 3 play. Okay, they tap it. That's good. That means no Rayman. Lands. That's a Veil of Summer, but we don't have a. Oh, we're missing a land. We're missing a land here, guys. Let's just play a Knight of Autumn and kind of bait them. I wish we didn't miss this land for the collected company. I can just play a Knight of Autumn and get a gain life or. Okay, I'll play the Spike Feeder. If they don't have anything, then we have a infinitely large Spike Feeder. And this is kind of the last turn they can so next turn they have Cryptic Command. I don't think they play Armistice Charm, so they could have Remnant or Mana Leak, and they didn't shock last turn, so that tells me they maybe don't have the Mana Leak or the Remnant, right? So they can really only have Armistice Charm, or if they do the Remnant this turn. But they're thinking about it a lot. So the thing is, we don't really want to. So if we take a counter out, I will do it when if they fetch, I will do it. Okay, so now they only have one bolt possible. So we do it when they fetch, so there's no way they can actually. They can actually. How do you say that? I'm gonna go for a 20-20 just so we can finish the game in one attack. You know, there's no way they can actually. What's that called? Have 2 bolts to deal with this when they have only 1 red source, right? So we're going for the 20-20 Spike Feeder. I don't think there's a point on going higher on life anyway. Ooh. So yeah, I think that was a good play to just run the Spike Feeder here. It looked a bit risky, but actually in reality, it wasn't. So, guess, yeah, we're gonna get the... I'm gonna get to 60 life and pass the turn. Cool. Cool, so it's your turn, opponent. So we get the Triumph back. So they could have, like, if they had double bolt, they could have looked for another Steam Bands or a Will Foothill or something. Okay, that's a Snapcaster Mage. As I guess as a blocker. Blazon, cool. As Blazon can blow up the Harran skills, but yep. Eidolon. Cool. So we attack. Just a champ with this dude. Yep. I'm guessing we can either keep up. They have triple blue, so they actually could have Cryptic here. I wish I had drawn a land, but I think we can just play the Eidolon, right? They could have Cryptic and they could bounce this, like counter bounce. That would not be so good. I think I'm just holding up the Veil is the way to go. Like, they have no way to deal with this unless it's they can of course put counters on the plus zone, but at 2 it doesn't really do anything. So they need to keep generating champ blockers somehow. And if they Cryptic bounce, we have Veil. So yeah. Yep, that's it. They concede. Big place. So man, again, like the second 4-1 in a row I get with this deck. We only lost to the Ponzo deck. That's they Molten Raiders, double Blood Moon, and we were really close to winning actually. We were like one draw step away from winning, but then I realized a bit of a weakness of the deck is Blood Moon, so I made some changes to accommodate for that. So I added a 5th Forest, so now we have 5 forests. That means we can cast Spike Feeder more reliably, Eternal Witness to get back a land, whatever. To destroy. I'm thinking of the 3rd planes, but maybe this actually could be a Prismatic Vista. This one. One of these could be a Prismatic Vista. But I'm not sure. Then the other change I made is added the Caustic Caterpillar on the sideboard for the Blood Moon matchups and for, I guess, for E-Tron, Tron. I mean, we play against Hardened Scales. This card, it's not a great card, but it can be like you can search for it with Ranger Captain of Eos. Because yeah, you functionally play 5 of those, so that's really nice. 2 paths only, I don't think we need more. 1 Avenmid Sensor for decks that like to search the library a lot, like Scapeshift, like a Tron. It has Flash on top of it, so it can really be like a game breaker. Yeah, basically also against Control, you can flash it in when they fetch and then they don't fetch. Basically, what I do for sideboarding with this deck is that like the matchups where where Ariok is good, normally an Anafenza is not good. So for example, Bolt matchups, an Anafenza is obviously not good because it's only a 2-2, so I take them out. And I put normally the Knights of Autumn in place. Prowess matchups, I bring in the Eidolon and the Celestial Purge. And then the cards that I normally cut is like I cut 1 Ballista, because if you go we're 30 creatures now, so that means 27 creatures can be hit with the Collected Company. If you go much below 25, 26, you start getting a bit of a not so good ratio, like a probability of casting the spell. Against the Prowess decks, I probably would cut the Arbor Elves a lot of the times, especially on the draw. Because, like let's say they play Soulscar Mage turn 1, then you play Arbor Elf, they Lava Dart it. I mean, that's like brutal, right? So it's better to have something, at least even just a Giver of Runes or whatever, can resist better. So basically, depending on the matchup, I cut the Oriok Champion, basically against blue decks, green decks, any deck that is not red or black, mostly red decks. The matchups I don't cut the Oriok Champion, I normally cut the Anafenza. I could also cut the Eternal Witness, depending on which matchup. If I see Scavenging Ooze, for example. But this card is really good on versus like Ponza, for example. We didn't really get to cast it, but it's good. And I almost always cut 1 Ballista. Then the Giver Rune goes away when matches where they have like very little removal. This card is not so good. I used to play 2 Givers, but then, if you play, like if you look at this like this, if you play too many 1-drops that are creatures, so we only have like 5 that are creatures. If you play too many 1-drops, then your Collected Companies get worse, right? So you would like to Collected Companies to ideally hit 2 3-drops, or 1 3-drop and a 2-drop. But you never want your Collected Companies to hit 2 Arbor Elves, right? So that's why I'm limiting the amount of 1-drops. That's why I cut 1 Giver Runes and I added an Anafenza. And an Anafenza works really well game 1 when they have less removal normally, because then any other creature that you play puts an extra counter. If you play a Conclave Mentor, gets 2 counters, and you can run away with the game that way. And I've been liking it. Maybe I could get a second Scavenging Ooze, but Scavenging Ooze is better like on longer games, and the game 1 I'm normally not interested in a longer game. I could think of Collector Roof, but the problem with Collector Roof is it stops your own combo. I thought about it. I think it could be a good option. Maybe I could cut some of this kind of a toolbox deck just because we have Collected Company that digs so deep and Ranger Captain of Eos. I also thought about Hexringer on the sideboard. Yeah, the Collective could be good in some situations for sure. I don't know what I would cut for it. Just the problem is that it stops our own combo. So imagine you cast it and the next time you draw a Ballista you could have won the game with. It's kind of a feels bad moment. But yeah, the Damping Spheres I think are absolutely necessary versus Tron. We don't go down less than 3. They won us the game both times, so we played it. Changing Mooses are great against Uros, against black decks. So that's why I have 2. They're not so good in a lot of matchups, but one main, one sideboard, I'm liking it. I'm really happy with the deck right now. I'm going to make a Facebook post about it right now. I'm just going to screenshot this and talk about my experience. I 4-1 2 times. One loss was to this Ponza deck that just destroyed my lands, and then I drew all my double spells, which was like unlucky, I guess. But then I made some changes to accommodate for that already, so I don't think that could happen again. And the other loss I've had since I added the Arboros on the deck, it has been to Neoform. The rest I beat like today I beat I actually beat Ponza. No, what was this? Jumpsman? Okay, let's look it up. I'm gonna end the stream after these guys. I gotta go on with my life today. But maybe like tomorrow I'll be back for more. A lot more actually. So let's see what do we play around here. Jumpsman. Ah yeah, this was an Europile as well, and we completely decimated. Like, I don't know what else just gives you so much mana advantage against these decks. These decks are not meant to destroy an Arborov. Like, they're really bad at it. Like, especially the banned version is like sucky against it. So like, we draw, we play. I think I got a Conclave Mentor down, I think, and I hit them with the Arbor Elf. So the Remanate is like, okay, we just hit you with an elf. Basically, you want to cast spells so they don't. You want to cast spells here so they don't get to Remnant you, so they don't get to Growth Spiral. I think this is one of the keys of this matchup. Against Banned Snowblade, where you would probably normally play Mana Leak, it would be not so good to kind of waste a spell on a Mana Leak, right? But here you can see how much pressure are we putting on them. Like, yeah, they will Field of Ruin our Temple Garden, that's our turn 3. Now they play a Field of Ruin, Field of Death tap. They play a lot of tap lands, these decks. So now we're putting a ton of pressure on them. We have Eternal Witness to get back whatever we want. I mean, they're very fast. They actually, okay, they cast Path, so that we even get more ahead of mana. Like right now we have 5-6 lands to their 4, meaning if we count the Arbor Elf as a land. So I play the Scavenging Ooze, the Ether Gust, I put it on top. Maybe that's not the best play, but whatever. I play the second Ballista. Yeah, and you can see how much pressure they're under. And they have only 3-4 cards in hand, so they have not been able to get a single 2-for-1 on us. Here they get the Fairy Time Raveler, they bounce the Conclave Mentor. But again, this is just basically a cantrip at some point. Like, yeah, they Time Walk us a little bit, but this is basically a little bit better than a Blink of an Eye. We hit them there, hit them there. The reason I'm doing this here is that even if they path this, I can always shoot the Fairy down or whatever. We play the Conclave Mentor, we play the Scavenging Ooze, and now we have we can eat something with the Scavenging Ooze, and I eat their Path to Exile, so they cannot get it back. I hit them, and here again, okay, they could have Cryptic Command, but I just play the Heliod. Yeah, they don't have an answer for it. Again, they don't play that many counter spells. They make a zombie, whatever. I give Lifelink to the Ballista and end of turn, and I shoot them down for the dead. You know, Uro, I don't think it's a big deal with this deck. Then we beat Ponza, pretty nice. Then we lost to Ponza. Then we beat Tron, very close game. I think Tron and combo decks are kind of one of the hardest. And then we beat, we beat E-Tron again. And that's, I'm just gonna show this again because maybe not everybody picked up on it. I'm gonna stop the egg as I will just. So yeah. Because this was a good play. And it's very important to think about what your opponent is doing when you're playing a deck like this one. Like Scales or this one. So we have turn 1 Scales. This deck is not so dependent on getting turn 1 Scales like normal Scales. So that's why I'm only playing 2. And here we're here. Okay, we draw the Heliod. Cool. And now here, very importantly, look at what they do. They play Breeding Pool tapped. If they play it untapped, that means that they probably have something, right? So I just decided to run the Heliod, even if they had a mana leak, because if we draw a second, that was fine. Play the Heliod, they have nothing. And here, if you think, okay, what could they possibly have when they have 3 lines open? What can they have? They can have Armistice Charm, Mana Leak, or Remnant. That's kind of the cards that counter a creature. That's the only cards that they can have, right? So what I do here is like, okay, if they didn't have a Mana Leak last turn, that means that they either just drew it, or they drew it, or yeah, they basically just means that they just drew it, right? So, and this card actually I didn't say, but this Mystery Rainforest is probably just drawn, because why would you play a Breeding Pool tap when you plan to play a Mystery Rainforest, right? And fetch for whatever you need, and save yourself, like, you know, in this way you get the option open of, like, I don't know that you don't have a Rayman, right? So I just decide, okay, this is a good time to play the Spike Feeder. But notice that I mean, what they should have done here is that when the Spike Feeder was on the stack, they should have fetched and put if they had the double bolt, in fact, which I don't know if they had, get a Stomping Ground or something. Then at this point, we're not able to go for this. I mean, they probably would do it anyway. But here, when they fetched, here is when I gained infinite life, or I made this, basically you cannot gain infinite life in MTGO, but I just made the Spike Feeder at 23 and I got like 30 life, right? So from this point on, opponents are in a lot of trouble, right? Because they cannot deal with the Spike Feeder because they're playing Temor, they're not playing Path to Exile, so they only have Bolt. So they only have like damage-based removal or Cryptic Command. But if you notice, I have a Veil of Summer in hand, so that can protect me against the Cryptic. I make this big enough to win the game on one attack, and then I pass. Then they play Snapcaster just for blocking. They attack. So I decide to keep the Veil here. Very important, they block. And let's see, what can they do now? Okay, they put counters on the Blazon, that doesn't do anything at all. Okay. They untap and they concede. But really, what they could have done here, like they could, I don't know what I was gonna draw. Does it work? All right. But if they try to bounce a Spike Feeder, we can either recast it or we can Veil of Summer it. And even if they have a counter for this, we're still good, right? So in the end, in this position, they're in a very bad spot. And it's all because they have a greedy mana base. Like, this is very greedy. And they have only damage-based removal, so we need to take advantage of that. Anyway, that is the stream, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I also hope you enjoyed this like little analysis. I mean, of course, I was lucky. I mean, they could have had the Remnant, but you need to think, like, if they have like 50 cards in their deck, and they didn't have a Remnant last turn, or they didn't play like they had a Remnant last turn, maybe they're super next leveling you, and they are like thinking that you will think this, and then they will actually have the Remnant for the other spell, right? But anyway, anyway, if we play the Spike Feeder and they have a Remnant, it's not the end of the world. We can just play it again next turn, right? So yeah, that was it. That was the deck. And this is what I will be playing right now. Slight changes, you know, trial and error. I think Adam Mid-Sensor could have a spot in the deck, especially against these big mana decks. Eidolon versus Control and versus combo decks. Maybe I should be playing a second one. But so far I've been bringing in every single card on my sideboard has had their spot, right? And also in the main deck. The only thing I could see changes is one Anafenza for either a Lurrus or a second Scavenging Ooze, and then this Scavenging Ooze could become a Hexdrinker. Anyway, thanks for watching. I know there's like a lot of watchers right now, but yeah, I really appreciate you all, guys. There will be a 200 subscriber special YouTube video posted right after this, so I'm gonna write the description now and do that. So thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you tomorrow for more.